My friends, you're being guided into something nonlinear. It's unpredictable and it's wildly intuitive, okay? Let's see what's on the other side of this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, you're digging these Soulpreneur videos, make sure you subscribe, like, comment. I love reading your comments as well. Let's get into this. So, this is a very pivotal time for you. You are used to doing things a certain way. The way that you are used to doing things is very different from what is actually being called of you now. You are entering a chapter in your life where you're being asked that you need to monetize your mind. All right? That means that you have specific wisdom, knowledge, experiences, hacks, tools, resources, ideas, strategies, etc., that are going to shake up your audience, that are going to support those who are ready to elevate to where you have elevated to. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, I haven't elevated that far. No, no, no. You have, and you just might not realize it because you're living in your everyday reality thinking that this is just normal for you. But look at all the experiences that you've been through and look at all the scenarios that God has put you through to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to pick up new insights and new information and apply them. And look what has happened when you have applied those tools that you have learned and actually seen the results. There are people out there that are looking exactly for those same kinds of tools to help them get the results that you have been able to obtain and might not even realize that you've come so far. You might not even realize that you have all this experience. And some of you do, but I really want you to take a moment to own the value of your wisdom, okay? You must realize that your knowledge and experience are not accidental, all right? They're a part of your divine toolkit, which means that they're not only meant to create impact, but they're also meant to create income for you. So when you start realizing that when you're teaching somebody something or when you're giving them a tool or a piece of information, there has to be an energetic exchange. Right now, you might just be running your business in one way and doing this just for friends on the side, but there is a necessary change of pattern that has to happen for you. And that's because that you have to realize that charging for your expertise actually honors the giver and the receiver. It allows transformation to flow through balanced reciprocity. And right now you have so much knowledge and people are getting so much out of you, but they're not going to really see the value of that until you start charging for it. Now, it might not be the same people that you're serving, but there are people out there who will pay for your knowledge. And you really want to turn your insights into offerings now. You want to learn to structure your wisdom into things like courses, coaching, or even programs that serve others while sustaining your energy and your livelihood, all right? Don't give too much away for free. Don't undervalue your expertise, and really reflect if you have a fear of charging for your knowledge and really see if you can overcome that fear. Because right now, you have to realize that wisdom is actually a resource, okay? So let's see if we can get you into the right affirmation here. The affirmation is, my wisdom is valuable and I am worthy of receiving abundance for sharing it. This is going to feel like it's a big departure from where you maybe were before in your business, but it's time to shift gears because everything you have done in your business, you are literally stepping into teach the teacher, right? So your marketing is going to become more magnetic once you start shifting into this. Maybe your marketing hasn't really been working, but you've actually outgrown a lot of people who only knew the version of you that was doubting yourself. That means that there are people in your energy right now that are just being shaken out of your whole field. You might just feel suddenly disconnected from people you were super close with at one point. And that's because you've evolved into the next chapter of who you are and they can't come with you, okay? So whoever you were then is not who you are now, which means that some part of you has also been operating in survival mode for so long that this new energy might feel suspicious to you, hence the video, okay? If you're feeling like this feels weird to me to even have these thoughts that I want to share these things and charge for these things. You're on the right path, but you can't do that with people all up in your ear showing you that you're somebody that you're not anymore. You need to literally rise into a new energy. Go sit at a table with your new friends. Go sit at a table with your new colleagues. Go sit at a table with your new clients and customers and show up with compassion. Because as your leadership starts to get better, your compassion is going to start deepening. You're going to start seeing these people, asking questions. Who are these people that God is presenting me with? What are they going through right now? And how can I help them? How can I see the old version of me that was struggling with what they're struggling with and now serve them all the insights on a silver platter through this reciprocity, of course, okay? So I want you to take whatever your payment method is, how people usually pay you through your business, and I want you to send a signal to that payment method. Maybe you have a debit card or a Visa card or just a bank account somewhere online. Take your hands to it and say, I bless you with my new resource of sharing wisdom. I bless my bank account. I bless reciprocity for the intuitive guidance that I share, the wisdom that I share, the strategy that I share. You're going to start seeing that money is going to start flowing in this direction from what you have to offer in this new way. All right, this is really important for you. Okay, so because your old identity is shedding, your next one has not landed yet. This might feel a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but in order for this to really work, you have to stop carrying the emotional labor of other people. And this is a big one for you, okay? If you want to build a professional business, you have to trust your own values and your own wisdom over trying to carry people forward with you that maybe are just in it because they've been in it for a long time with you, but they don't actually have anything of value to bring anymore. And you're literally just holding them like burdens, trying to be loyal in ways that you don't have to be. You don't have to be loyal to people for years and years and years and years, because those people might not be in energetic integrity with where you're at anymore. And some part of them might be feeling off too. Like, I know I'm supposed to let go of this person and fly on my own. And sometimes we enable people when we carry them too long, too far in a direction where they were never meant to go. They're not supposed to eat off the fruits of your success, okay? They're not supposed to be people that you end up giving everything to in your future. In fact, God won't even give you what you need to receive and what you deserve to receive until you let these people go, because they're not part of this path of they have to go through their own journey. They have to go through their own karma to get into a position where they can receive what you're about to receive. And if you don't give them the space to do that, you're actually blocking yourself at this point, okay? I think I've done a reading similar to that last month, okay? So the code that I want to drop in for you today is called the Alignment Rebuild Code. And this is a code that says you are not fixing a system, you're completely creating a new energetic architecture. And maybe that's actually the pivot point that you needed in order to share your wisdom, that you don't have to go into all the things that you've done that didn't work and complain about them and be like, this is why this doesn't work. This is why this doesn't work. This is why this doesn't work. What you have to do is you have to summon the innovator from within you, okay? You're going to summon the innovator from within you, and you're going to say, I have a new structure. I have a new program. I have a new approach. I have a new way of seeing things. I have a new system that exists within the core of my being that I am ready to share with people. And that new core way of sharing is going to become its own masterpiece, okay? And when that becomes a masterpiece, you're going to take off. You're going to take off because you already have the tools. You just didn't realize at this point that they were tools that were specifically given to you to recreate this architecture, implement this in your own life, and then help other people implement it to achieve success. I don't know. I keep hearing Tim Ferriss. Okay, I don't know if you guys have read any of the Tim Ferriss books, 4 Hour Body, 4 Hour Work With, but this guy completely revolutionized systems, right? And how did he do that? He did that through hands-on experimentation, right? I'm getting a very Tim Ferriss vibe from whoever's watching this. You've been doing hands-on experimentation to see what works and what doesn't, just in your personal life. And I'm hearing some of you didn't even realize you were doing this, but you've been doing it. It's just been quietly in the background. And now you have an entire new way of looking at things, okay? So we're gonna do a little code activation. You can just sit and receive. You can place your palms up over your lap. I'm just gonna ask the hand of God to bring in all of the codes around how to rebuild. How do you rebuild? Whoever you're serving in whatever capacity you're serving with, you're here to rebuild in that way. You're here to show, whether it's say like the medical system or the government or construction or how people eat or whatever it is, like you have a way that you're doing this that is very, very, very applicable to a select niche on this planet of people that are going to resonate with you. For some of you, I'm seeing you have 100,000 aligned customers for what you're offering in this energy right now. And that can skyrocket once you're fully amplified and embedded in that, okay? So we're asking the hand of God to really seed this awareness through your entire being from head to toe, releasing any sort of personal burdens that you've been carrying from all of your lifetimes that are holding you back from succeeding in your business. And really, we're just asking the hand of God, and really you're just receiving this from consent. So if you consent to this, you're receiving it. If not, that's okay too. But if you really want to receive this upgrade, just consent to being lifted by God into a completely new way of seeing yourself and everything you have to offer, and seeing your audience as well. Because it's almost like once you develop this compassion for your audience, you're going to be like, oh, there's a loophole there, and there's a loophole there, and there's a loophole there. And I know how to fix those loopholes because I've actually fixed those loopholes within myself, right? And sometimes people doubt their path. And sometimes by you sharing what you've been through, people feel like, aha, they just gave me permission to trust my path more. And now I want their support at a deeper level because I trust that my path and their path are one and the same in certain capacities. And so your system is going to support them in that, okay? So God bless you. I wish you all the best on this new chapter. I know that what you're being called to do does not feel maybe natural or easy to you. And I know that it's going to make you see yourself in a higher light. It's going to derive from you a deeper sense of self-confidence. You're going to have to speak from a different energy now. You're not just a salesperson anymore. Whoever I'm talking to, you're not just a salesperson. You're so much more than that, okay? You are somebody that has deep levels of human compassion. You are somebody that values human connection. And maybe your wounds taught you that you couldn't have all these new connections and show up in these new ways because your energy body was inundated with the stress and burdens of other people, feeling sorry for them, carrying their burdens, you know, constantly empathizing with their loads. But you don't have to do that anymore, okay? You're not a bad person for letting this go. You're a great human being. You have a good heart, but it needs to be applied to the right circles now, okay? This reminds me of meditation I had this week where like God showed me that I was like feeding bread to all these crows, and these crows were not deserving of the bread, and I wasn't even supposed to be feeding that bread to begin with. And God was like, look up, and I saw this like crystal staircase, and God said, go up the crystal staircase, stop trying to feed all your bread to these crows who basically don't even understand what you're about, and walk up the crystal staircase. And so I did it in my meditation, and I ended up at this beautiful massive table. And I saw all of these beautiful beings on this table, and there was one seat left, and that one seat left was me. And I had to come and I had to sit at that table. And I imagined myself doing this. I started sitting at that table. I started interacting with these beings. They were showing up as like these light beings, but I'm sure that they're also human beings that I'm newly connected with. And I noticed all of a sudden my life changed after doing this meditation, that I stopped caring if there was people that didn't agree with me anymore. I stopped trying to pressure people into seeing things my way. I stopped trying to help people, try to shine a light on them that weren't ready or willing to do that. And all of a sudden I had this surge of new energy it was reflected to me because I also had like a surge of new people show up in my social media messaging me. And I was like, these are the people that I want to serve. These are the new energies. And it was because I had to let go of feeding those crows that were basically perpetuating this old cycle. All right. So that was my personal journey. I don't know what yours is, but if that helps, let me know. Definitely check out soulpreneurinstitute.com if you guys are interested in joining my private community where I teach more and shine more of my light specifically for entrepreneurs. And if you guys are interested in getting some wealth code activations, definitely check out wealthcodeactivations.com. You can get the first 3 there for free. And all of that information is in the description box. If you're on a healing journey, you want to maximize your healing experience on your own. You don't necessarily want to get a healer or something. I've created a specific book for people like you and practitioners called Elemental Wellness. This is 24 different guided meditations that I walk you through based on the elements, and you're meant to memorize those meditations. So in the beginning, maybe you read the meditation and then you memorize it, and every time you have a situation, you walk yourself through that meditation. And then eventually it becomes like a 33 second thing that happens while you're in the shower. You just see yourself going through like the tree of stability when you're feeling shook, or you see yourself going through the earthquake shakeup when things are getting stuck, or you see yourself connecting with the river of surrender whenever you feel that you're not able to surrender. There's all these little tricks and tools in there. You can get that in the description box as well. There's an online book, there's an offline book, whatever you feel, all right? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're vibing with these videos, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bye.